What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome to the SoCal Sports Dudes podcast. Jason Wen here. I wanted to give a quick Laker report and let you know where things are at right now this year. So far, maybe hasn't gone the way we kind of wanted it to as Laker fans, but there's still time. We can kind of get back on track and get things going again. But so far, here we are, hovering around the 500 mark, a little under now with the, loss, of course, yesterday. Let's kind of just not panic. We can maybe got some time left to get things going. Maybe I'm wearing my purple and gold colored lenses here that hope they can get things straightened out and back on track and get ready to make a deep run into the playoffs. But it's been kind of tough to watch. This thing hasn't gelled as quickly as maybe we had hoped for as the front office when they made these moves had thought. I don't think they could have foreseen that it would have gone this way. And now it's kind of like they're kind of pointing the finger at the coach, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's like Vogel gets kind of the blame for it because of the record and the way things have gone this year. But this squad kind of doesn't fit with what he likes to do. He's a really good defensive coach. I think he needs to have more of players that have a kind of more of a defensive type mindset and some length, some size, versatility and variety in that roster. And I don't really see a lot of that this year with some of the offseason moves we made. We could start with, first of all, let's compare it to 2 years ago when we won the championship. We had a lot of versatile defender types. Look at from that team, we don't have Caruso, Danny Green, KCP, Kuzma. We had McGee and Howard as their centers. Markieff Morris. Compare that to what we see now. We got more guys who just want to, put the ball in the basket, but not necessarily want to make some of these other plays that I think some of those other guys did. And I think the chemistry was really good with that squad. It all came together. They put that team together and they won the championship that year. So that was pretty impressive, man. And now, for whatever reason, they made changes to, what they did last year. I thought that team still, although I wasn't crazy about all the moves they made, moving on from Dwight and bringing in Gasol, or getting actually ready JaVale to bring in Gasol, and then the Dwight was exchanged out. We got Montrezl Harrell, but I thought, hey, that's going to give us some offensive firepower. We traded Danny Green for Dennis Schroeder. At the time, Danny Green had kind of missed a few threes for us in the finals, and it seems like fans were, kind of breathing down his fire down his neck there for missing. But when we look back on it, man, Danny Green was a long, switchy, 2-3 type player that I thought was a good fit. He wasn't the Danny Green that he was with Toronto, but he was solid, man. I thought he was a good player to have on the roster. So you traded him for Schroeder. Okay, well, Schroeder, we needed kind of some point guard type, and he was a pesky defender that was kind of given a shot to start. I don't know if he did the right thing by insisting I be the starter and stuff. And then of course him turning down the contract extension kind of rubbed people, I think, a lot the wrong way. You can say what you say about Schroeder, but when you look at that team, and then we got Wes Matthews, that looked like pretty solid little, Danny Green-ish type player to fill in that spot. He had kind of a rough year. Maybe we gave up on him too quick, because I still think he might have been a solid piece to have on this team. He's at least willing to play defense, unlike some of the other guys we got around. And now you look at what we currently have out there. LeBron, AD, and Westbrook centric. You fill it in with Carmelo, and you try to add. You had Dwight back, which I think was okay. But then these other pieces you had around it. Bazemore hasn't really worked out. DeAndre Jordan hasn't really worked out. Malik Monk and Carmelo Anthony have done solid jobs. We brought back Rondo and we traded him away. And then Kendrick Nunn was supposed to be one of the key pieces we signed. But he's been hurt and hasn't even been able to play for us yet. And then of course, Trevor Ariza. I thought getting him back, hey, cool, but maybe we got him back too late. I don't know if he's quite filled in the role that we kind of anticipated he would. And he got hurt, so he's still got to maybe get his feet back under him, and we can still get something value. maybe he'll, second half of the year he'll have a better first than he did the first half of the year, which may me be all the difference we need there. So, but I mean, you're letting Marc Gasol go to bring in DeAndre Jordan. I mean, do you really need to do that? I don't know, man. I think Gasol, he was a little slow-footed, but good passer, can hit the three, stretch the floor, still a rebounder. He's an intelligent player, high IQ. And I mean, DeAndre Jordan's been kind of let go by a number of teams, and the Lakers scoop him up thinking, hey, we'll plug him into that catch lobs and play defense around the hoop kind of guy. And I don't know, that's a big step down from McGee and from Gasol to now DeAndre Jordan. And now he's sitting on the bench an awful lot. Dwight is good, but kind of in the role he plays now, he's not the full-time player he once was. So now we're, forcing AD to play center. And I mean, when he was out, LeBron playing center, I mean, geez, it's just kind of, this roster kind of doesn't have the depth that we have been accustomed to seeing with them. So, it's kind of been a disappointment. I'm not excited about, the moves they made in the offseason. As I was real kind of reluctant, hoping it would, skeptical, I should say, that it would work out. I wanted to kind of say, all right, let's give it a chance and see where it goes. So far, it hasn't looked too good. And in particular, I'm not a fan of that. All we gave up for the Westbrook trade, and the other thing is we take on Westbrook, we get his contract. We get his contract not just for this year, but next year too. And now it's a deal that you if it doesn't work out, you can't just turn around and make a trade and okay, move on and clear the decks from that. No, it's kind of, man, they're kind of stuck with him because a lot of other teams have seen the way he played. They're like, we don't want to take that contract on. So, and look at what we gave up, man. We gave up Harrell, Kuzma, and KCP for Westbrook. You know what I mean? I thought those were three solid pieces that would look really good on our team right now. And not to mention the first-round pick we threw in on top of that. It's like, we should have told Washington to give us some first-round picks to take on Westbrook's contract, man. I mean, they just keep giving away all our draft picks. And it's just like, when we got our next first-rounders not until 2027, and they're even trying to trade that thing. So I don't know, man. I just kind of get a little less than impressed so far with what we've seen out of the Lakers. But gotta stay bleed purple and gold, man. So we got to stay true to the team that we've always supported. I mean, any possible trades at the deadline here that can help them out? I mean, you always hear all these names, every name that's out there. Oh, can the Lakers make this deal for Jeremy Grant or for, we're talking Buddy Hield again. I mean, even though you got Monk and Ellington to kind of fill that Buddy Hield type role, I don't know if you really need to be all frantic about trying to get another three-point shooter who doesn't play any defense. So I don't know, man. I just kind of have a little bit like all these possible moves, or they're mentioning the same package, it seems like, is being mentioned anyway to make this trade, which is THT and Kendrick Nunn's contract and a first-round pick. And it's like, we went out of our way to keep THT and spend $10 million a year to keep him here because he was our up-and-coming youngster that we couldn't let go. So we let Caruso walk so we can keep this, keep THT around. And it's like, then now you're just like, here we are a few months later, I'll go ahead and just ship him out and let's get another guy in here who may or may not work. We have to see if we can plug that in and see if that works at all. I don't know, man, just getting too like jumpy and just trying to, I think, make up for some of the moves they made. It just seems like they're kind of overreactive in that sense. It's like, why did you do this move in the first place? Now, okay, it's not working. Let's panic and try to fix it by making a trade that probably doesn't do us any good. I don't know, man. I think hold on to THC. He's still only 20 years old. There's a reason why you gave him that contract, and the reason why you had these feelings of let's keep him at whatever expense. We have to keep him here. Don't 4 months, 5 months later want to turn around and trade him already. It's like, geez, man. It's like I don't know. I think that's just a little bit too getting a little pushy there, and like I said, overreactive with some of that. But I don't know if there's any real trades out there that can be made that can really fix this season. I think we got the roster we're going to have for the rest of the year. And hey, it's like one of those things. You made the bed, now you get to lay in it, man, because you're the one who signed DeAndre Jordan, who's kind of older, Bazemore instead of some other players. Making the Westbrook trade and getting all vet minimum types to fill in the rest of the roster. It's like, I mean, we're older. These other guys, we're getting outrun every night. We got more. Other squad always has more athleticism than we do. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm kind of not in love with some of the moves we made this offseason. And now here at the deadline, are we going to panic and try to undo what we did? Can't do that with the Westbrook trade. So we do trade him for John Wall. John Wall he's like not available all the time. So, and then I would not even if we did do that, don't throw in a first rounder for, man. It's like, no thanks, dude. Westbrook's got, at least he's healthy and he plays, every night and brings effort and energy. He may not be working out in terms of how his play on the court is looking, but I probably would rather roll with that than try to panic and trade him out for Wall. Because if you do that, then you're saying, okay, we just traded Wall, KCP, KCP, Kuzma, Harrell, and our first for John Wall. And it's like John Wall might be half available. I don't know, they didn't think it through, man. I think they really thought this was going to work out, and they didn't really see if it didn't work out or the fit. They forced the fit together and just like, push that square peg through the round hole, man. Make it go in there. And it's like, damn, man, it kind of doesn't naturally blend together, man. And I don't know. I keep saying I don't know, but it's true. It's like, Lakers, come on now. So where they're at now, as we said, they're kind of 500-ish, middle of the pack. Still kind of in there for the playoff race, though. I mean, look, let's see what we have. If we keep the team intact that we have, can we get a little roll going and get into the playoffs as, like a 5 seed? If you can move up a little bit, get one of the 4 or 5 seed type spots, I think that's much better than hanging around the bottom and maybe being one of these play-in teams, because then you could get knocked out quick and then, in the play-in game, and then your season's over. And it's like, okay, great. Now look at all these moves we made got us this. So it's like, hopefully we can get, as Westbrook has done in historically been halfway or second half of the year, he tends to get going in the second half. Let's kind of hope that that's what he does for us. So I kind of guess we have to wait and see with how that works, because doesn't look like we have a lot of moves. I think that could be an instant fix to this flawed roster we're looking at here. So still time to get on track. I hope they don't overreact and move on from Vogel. It's not his fault. If you move on from him, you're going to plug in David Fizdale, and he kind of was okay in that in his brief stint there as the interim coach while that whole COVID thing was going on. He kind of did have a shorthanded roster to work with. So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to kind of touch base because I'm being a Laker fan. It's tough to watch, man. It kind of hurts when we see we proud Laker fans and we're seeing them do this that they're doing this whole year. It's just been, it's been kind of, it's trying, man. It's hard for us to have to watch it and just take it. And we hurt when they don't do good. And that's kind of how I think we're feeling right now, the pain of some of these moves that they made. And, hopefully we'll see how the second half goes. Cross the fingers and toes that they can get things headed in the right direction. And we'll see how the rest of the year plays out. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back more with some more content soon. Take care now. Bye.